You're watching Taste of Victory.
There was some really exciting news revealed during the week for the Digimon TCG game. But there has been quite a bit of confusion about it, which is understandable since there is a language barrier with this being introduced to us. But seeing on screen, as you can see right now, this is a video from the official Digika Fun channel on YouTube from Japan that I will link in the description below. This is footage of, yes, a digital version of the Digimon trading card game, and that is amazing. There's been a lot of misconceptions though, so we want to clear some things up. First of all, the big thing you can see right now, this is not an automatic sim. This is a manual sim. This is not like Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro where it'll do all the actions for you and you can use it to like decide rulings and stuff like the Pokemon TCG online sim. This is fully manual. As you see, he is dragging his Diaboromon token on screen right now. They are dragging the cards out of the security and all that. You have to manually do these things, so you do kind of still got to know what you're doing. So that is, a little more time consuming as far as sims go. Automated, the appeal is that it goes faster than testing online in person. But so this kind of just ends up being a more fancier version of Tabletop Simulator. It's still amazing that we have something like that at all. So sim, like manual or not, it's fine. To clear up the next misconception, unfortunately, this is not an actual sim. This is simply a test. This is basically a tool for Western and Japanese players to be able to communicate and play with each other for events that require crossover like that, so like for Worlds. We have a tweet here from Different Fight, who has worked with Bandai in official capacity before on the Digimon Showdown tournament YouTube series that they're doing right now. Different Fight is a commentator for that tournament series right now, so Bandai's been working with them. He's one of the bigger names in Vanguard. But we see this tweet from him here, who has who has connections with people that could translate. It's important to note, on their stream, they said that the purpose of this event is for events like the Japanese versus Western players online meet, which I had not heard about, so I'm not too sure about the details of that, but he goes on to say immediately afterward that this is separate from Worlds, because Worlds will be an international event, so it'll be used for these kind of platforms where it is used for events that require overseas communication like Worlds, like the Western versus JP online meet. Then he goes on to say, they said in spring it'll be used for promotional purposes and new players, but it is not a huge client. There is literally right now, as of now, there is literally no intent to release this as a full-blown online sim, or rather, at least that is not the purpose of it currently. Like, these could all very much so be beta tests for it, and maybe they're getting ready for a wider release in like 2023, like 2022, something like that. But as of now, the reason this exists is exclusively for events like Worlds, exclusively for international meets like the JP versus Western online meet, exclusively for those kind of events, and will eventually be used for events and for teaching new players into the game. So we have a tutorial app in the App Store, if you hadn't known, that teaches you the game, the basics. And a lot of people were using that to introduce people into the game. We're saying they should expand on that to turn it into a full-blown sim. But it seems here that they're reinventing the wheel on this one and using this kind of this tool, which has, in this demonstration video, only goes up to 1.5 cards. They're using primarily 1.0 cards to show off the game, which shows it's early in development. So don't go around getting excited and telling people, yo, Digimon Online Sim's coming. Like, no. Maybe we keep telling Bandai, like, hey, this is promising. This is amazing. This is what we want. Please push towards this. Please start putting code cards in packs so that we can use them on this sim, like how Pokemon kind of does. I think that's a really good system. But as of now, this is a really cool looking online sim. But the intent is not to use this action as an actual sim. This is more just a tool for events, more just a tool to introduce new players into the game. But still, Digimon, the Dragon Ball card game rather, has been out for how long? And what, like 2 or 3 years now, and doesn't have some equivalent to this. So to me, seeing this from Bandai Japan is a huge sign of faith in this game from them. Like, this is huge steps that they're taking with this game that they haven't previously with their other tons of card games. Which tells me this has been a runaway success they just did not anticipate, and it's doing way better than they ever expected. And that is so great to hear, because this is potential. This is future right here. This tells me that Bandai is thinking at least somewhat forward ahead with this game in terms of sims. So that's not something you just roll out really quickly, you know. That's something you gotta prepare for, especially with how it affects the paper game that's been out for a couple of years now. By the time this will be in full swing, I'd assume. So yeah, this is really exciting information, even if it's not the online sim we all want. Because as of now, there is no intention for this to be public. This is simply for events and for teaching new players. But I'm sure when Bandai sees like the demand and the positive reception to this, they're going to be working on it to transform it into something like that. And they probably already are. And like I said, just running these for beta tests. The other really cool thing we can see from this is down here in the bottom right. There's been a translation and discussion online in Japanese Twitter that this down here is a banish zone, which is something we have not seen in the game at all right now. And this is coming out for Worlds, or the online meet, which is initially going to be the thing, which is, I believe, is spring 2022. So Boosted Set 9 may be out by then, which will be interesting to see if that maybe introduces a banish zone, or if they're just future-proofing. And if they're future-proofing that far ahead, then yeah, that just tells me more that the positive chances of this being turned into full-blown clients, even if it's not what it's being used for right now. And that'll be really interesting to see how that shakes up the meta, being able to banish cards. That's going to be an incredibly strong effect, and I'm really excited to see how they're going to implement that. But yeah, this is so cool. Like, this sim looks amazing. I would have liked for something like this to be automatic, and maybe that's why this is only being limited to events like Worlds, where people already know what they're doing. Maybe this is why it's already been only limited to new players, so they could learn the basics of the game without skipping any steps and get really familiar with it. And then, you know, once they got everything sorted out, ready to release an actual client, they do that separately later. Either way, this is an amazing sign for the game. I really take this as a huge net positive, and I'm so happy to see this existing at all, because like I said earlier, it shows how much faith Bandai has in the game and how much they want to invest in it. So I'm excited, man. Keep telling your friends about the Digimon card game. Let's keep playing and introducing new players to it. I'm having a lot of fun. I have met so many people through this game and made an awesome amount of friends already. Shout out to Huang Zero Dude, shout out to Karan, shout out to everyone in that server and my server. I love you guys, and I love this game, and I hope to keep meeting more people and playing this for years to come. Let me know what you think of this sim. Anything you think they should know of to improve for when they do release a full version, if they're going to. Let Bandai know that you love this and think this is a good step in the right direction. They should release a full-blown client. And anyways, that'll be it for this update, and I'll see you in the next video. And until that next video, remember to stay hungry until you get a taste of victory.